sure, Dean. Hello and welcome back to Purple and Apple Reviews. My name is Sharon and today we're going to be watching the next episode of Supernatural. Last episode I wasn't the biggest fan of that episode despite the lovely Amy Acker being involved, and I know this episode is going to be better because it's one of those episodes I look back fondly on. As always, I will be talking about future Supernatural episodes. So if you don't want to be spoiled for anything in the future and you've not seen the entire show, just be warned there might be some talk about it. I will probably put in the description down below what episode I get up to. Episode 4, Phantom Traveller. Here we go. Right. Supernatural. What a beautiful photo. I love travelling. I'm not scared to fly at all, even after this episode.
Nervous flyer? Is that obvious, huh?
Yeah, it's very obvious.
The odds of dying in a plane crash. I mean, what? 20,000 to 1?
I think it's a little bit more than that. Well, maybe we should figure that out, what it is.
Really reassuring, thank you.
We're about to see our first demon, which is slightly different in visual effects than Future, but 2005, and they were still getting to know what their demon effects were going to be, so it's very grainy demon.
Have a nice flight, sir.
Yeah. That is weird. I mean, if you saw that in real life, you'd think, contacts?
Do you know how long we've been up?
About 40 minutes.
Wow. Time really does fly, huh?
Sorry, I might word some stuff to some episodes of Supernatural. I wonder why this demon likes to take down planes. Is it just like his little thing that he does? Demons have got to get the yaya somehow, huh? Very deep thing to say.
What the hell are you doing?
This episode just reminds me of DJ Qualls' story about Samantha Ferris, who plays Ellen, wanting to open the door on a plane once. He just talked about that at a convention in 2023, so yeah. Oh, she was drunk, but you know, she got seated and she was fine, so oh, go find that on YouTube. It's San Francisco 2023 DJ Qualls panel. He does it much better than I do. Oh, this is where he needs Superman. How do not more people die in this crash? I think it's a little late for oxygen now. I think you're quite low already. And this is the shot used for the Jensen Ackles ass equation. If anybody knows what it is, it means he has the perfect ass-back ratio. I mean, he's... Oh.
When's the last time you got a good night's sleep?
I don't know. A little while, I guess. It's not a big deal.
That's you. It's your job to keep my ass alive, so I need sharp. Seriously, you still having nightmares about Jess?
Oh.
Yeah. But it's not just her, it's everything. No, this job. Man, that kid's to you.
Well, you can't let it. You can't bring it home like that.
I love this little moment between Sam and Dean because, you know, in the future we know Dean doesn't really talk about his feelings, and yet he's asked Sam a question and he's literally just answered it straight away. He's not hidden anything from him, well, except for the fact that he was having those nightmares before she died, but that's, I think Sam's just keeping that a bit close to his chest at the minute, so, but yeah, it's nice to see they have a nice brotherly interaction even after so long apart and only a small amount of time since then. So it's why we love the show.
You're never afraid.
No, not really.
There's precaution.
Can be both.
Whatever.
But it's something else, and, well, I think it could be a lot worse.
What is it?
Look at Dean's
Can we
bed
talk in
head.
person?
That's all I can think of right now. You don't often see his bed head like that. He usually wakes up with perfect hair. Just like all the girls.
Tell you something. If it wasn't for you and your dad, I probably wouldn't be alive.
Look at Dean, he's so proud.
Is that right?
Taking some time off.
You know, he was real proud of you, I could tell. And we talked about you all the time.
You did?
That's nice to hear that John was actually praising Sam. It's not something we often hear on the show, that John talks fondly about his boys. So it's quite nice to hear that John was talking fondly of Sam and that he's proud of him, even though obviously they had that massive fight. So yeah, it's actually quite nice to hear that, because there's a lot of negativity around John, and some, yes, reasons that are justified, and then there's some headcanons that I'm just like, that didn't happen. So I don't think, personally for me, John is kind of on the fence. I don't think he's as bad as some people make him out to be, but he's obviously not the best dad in the world. He has his faults. So yeah, I'm kind of swing back and forth a little bit for John. So there's sometimes I'm like, oh, that's good that he did that. Other times I'm like, John, why did you do that? So yeah, but it's nice to hear some positive things about John in an episode, I guess. And the Winchesters, kind of, even though, you know, it's pre-everything, it's good to see a different side of John in that as well, even though he has some of the John traits that we know.
Well, sounded like it was up your alley.
CD driver, don't get any of them anymore. Sounds like the opening sequence to Supernatural.
Over 100 people on board. Only 7 got out alive.
7.
Pilot was 1.
Any way we could take a look at the wreckage?
Fellas, the NTSB has it locked down in an evidence warehouse. No way I've got that kind of clearance.
No problem.
No problem for fake IDs made in commercial premises.
Homeland Security?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty illegal.
Yeah, well, it's something new. You know, people haven't seen it 1,000 times.
You mean like your FBI badges? No survivors. Here we come. Fire destination. Sorry, my phone wasn't freaky then.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
So I think maybe you did see something up there. We need to know what.
No, I was delusional.
Dean's being
Seeing
intimidating,
things.
trying to get information that way.
Seeing things.
It's okay.
And here's Sam's sensitive voice.
Just tell us what you thought you saw, please. This man, did he seem to appear and disappear?
What are you, nuts?
So here we are. George Phelps, C-20C.
Some pretty
I
shots.
don't care how strong you are.
Does that look like a creature's lair to you?
Forgotten how gloomy the shots were in season 1. It makes it different to other shows, which I love.
He was headed to... Do you know that he was petrified to fly?
I wonder if Eric made this because he's afraid to fly.
You know what we need to do is get inside that NTSB warehouse, check out the wreckage.
But if we're gonna go that route, we better look the part.
I look like one of the Blues Brothers. You don't. You look more like a 7th grader at his first dance.
Oh, I love the banter between these two.
I hate this thing.
It's hilarious though, because in future seasons they dress up in suits all the time, and yeah, here they are in series 1 going, oh look at me, I have to wear this bloody suit. Oh. And you know, when he goes back in time in like, what, I can't remember which season it is now, but yeah, he loved dressing the part. So yeah. It's the evolution of Dean Winchester. Oh, Dean. You'll learn to love it.
What is that?
It's an EMF meter.
Why does that one look like a busted up Walkman?
So that's what I made it out of. It's homemade.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why so cynical, Sam? Dean looks so proud of his EMF meter, and then Sam just has to bring him down. Come on, Sam. Can you make an EMF meter? I mean, you probably could, to be fair. So, but yeah, I mean, you see Dean's skill that's not really shown up shown much. Dean's got more skills than we think. I mean, he can build an EMF meter. Why don't we see more of that in the future seasons? Looks so offended. Poor Dean. It pierced the sofa. It's like, you disrespect me, I'm going to wipe my hands on your jacket.
One team of you guys isn't enough?
What are you talking about?
Two of your buddies went inside about 5 minutes ago.
If I was them, I'd be like, oh, they just sent someone else down. Not that some person's impersonating. Oops. Quick step, quick step. Not a very effective barbed wire, was it? There's actually protections. Here comes Demon. Some dodgy effects. Poor season 1. No money.
Yeah, there's not too many things that leave behind a sulfuric residue.
Demonic possession.
That would explain how a mortal man would have the strength to open up an emergency hatch. Something but to use them to take down an entire airplane?
You ever heard of something like this before?
Never.
No, it's quite unusual.
How long have we been up? Almost 40 minutes. Wow. Time really does fly.
Oh, just that look he gave him is like when Jensen is fed up of Jared's rubbish jokes. Yeah. Although Jared doesn't punch Jensen because of it.
Alright, so what? We have a demon that's evolved with the times and found a way to ratchet up the body count?
Basically, yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This isn't our normal gig. I mean, demons, they don't want anything, just death and destruction for its own sake. And this is big.
I love it. I think one demon is not the usual thing. Knowing what I know about the future. It's adorable, really. And it just goes to show you that a lot of the other hunters in the universe that they come into contact with, demons aren't usually their thing. It's usually monsters and ghosts. So it just goes to show how special Sam and Dean are in this universe, that in the future they have to deal with this whole big demon thing and then the angel thing. So yeah, it's it just goes to show you that not every hunter has to deal with demons.
I wish Dad was here.
Oh.
Yeah, me too. Chuck Lambert is dead. He and his buddy went up in a small twin about an hour ago. The plane went down.
Another crash. Yeah.
I don't see why the demon just doesn't kill not on a plane, because, you know, demons can possess anyone. And it's shown here that they possess people whilst they're on land. So, you know, they could just find those people, possess them and chuck themselves off of a bridge or something. So, I don't know why he's waiting for them to fly again. Maybe that's just his preference. Maybe he just likes flying for 40 minutes.
Sulfur? Oh, that's great.
On the cockpit voice recorder. Remember what the EVP said?
No survivors. It's going after all the survivors.
It's Final Destination, isn't it?
We're never gonna make it.
Oh, we'll make it.
Dean's just gonna break the speed limit. I hope he doesn't get pulled over. Vancouver Airport. I've been there.
Hi, Gate 13.
Gate 13, huh?
Amanda Walker. Hi, this is Dr. James Hetfield from St. Francis Memorial Hospital.
James Hetfield.
Karen Walker here.
Final. Who is this?
Well, it must be some mistake.
How would you even know I was here?
I love Sam is like, what's going on? He tried like listen in.
Guilty as charged.
Ah, the demon's not possessed anyone just yet.
We're getting on that plane.
Well, now just hold on a second. Well, I kind of have this problem with,
Flying?
You're joking, right? Do I look like I'm joking? Why do you think I drive everywhere, Sam?
All right. I'll go.
What?
Oh, he's not gonna let him do that.
Hey, nuts! Come on.
Oh,
Really?
the things he does for this job.
Just try to relax. Just try to shut up.
I mean, Sam's trying to keep him calm. Sam and his smirk. Come on, Sam, give your brother a bit of support.
You humming Metallica?
Calms me down.
I can definitely say that does actually help. Listening to music when you're a bit anxious or nervous definitely helps. And yeah, Metallica can do that as well. So any music that you like will calm you down. So you don't just feel sorry for Dean right now.
Look, man, I get you're nervous, all right, but you gotta stay focused.
Okay, I mean, we got...
Sam and his puppy dog voice. Like puppy dog eyes, but for voice.
Well, it's usually going to be somebody with some sort of weakness, you know, a chink in the armor that the demon can worm through. Sort of emotional distress.
You kind of get rid of that bit later on in the seasons.
I'll go talk to her, and I'll get a read on her mental state.
What if she's already possessed?
There's ways to test that.
Holy water.
How about holy water?
How did they get that past security? I thought it was a 100 mil limit.
If she's possessed, she'll flinch at the name of God.
Huh, nice.
You mean the word Chuck?
What?
In Latin, it's Christo.
Dude, I know, I'm not an idiot.
Well, isn't that the word for Christ, but whatever. But I mean, yeah, Dean does know things. More than Sam thinks.
Hi. Christo.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
Christo?
I love that we only ever hear Christo, I think, one more time in the entire run of the show. It's completely forgotten about until, like, what is it, season 13 or 14, I think? So, yeah, it's, oh, dear. I wonder whose idea it was to bring back the word Christo.
Alright, well, she's got to be the most well-adjusted person on the planet.
You said Christo?
Yeah. Come on, that can't be normal.
Hey, it's just a little turbulence.
It's just a little
See, this plane is going to
turbulence.
crash, okay? Dude, stole the touchy-feely self-help yoga crap. That's not
Listen,
help
if
you.
you're panicked, you're wide open to demonic possession, so you need to calm yourself down right now. Good.
Aww. He knows exactly how to calm his brother down, doesn't he?
It's two parts. The first part expels the demon from the victim's body. It makes it manifest, which actually makes it more powerful.
More powerful?
It can just wreak havoc on its own. Because the second part sends the bastard back to hell.
First things first, we gotta find it.
The explanation there doesn't really line up with the future. I mean, it sort of does, but the fact he said manifest, it doesn't really do that. It just expels the demon from the body and then sends it to hell. So, slight different in the law from what they originally had to what they ended up with there. But that's what happens with the shows when they decide, actually, that piece of law that we said years back, no, we don't like that. We're going to change it. So I understand. Yeah, and it's not really that big of a difference anyway. So, yeah. There's always little bits like that in the first season of a show where you go, then season 6 or 7, you go, actually, but they said that, but it's changed. So anything to help with the plot of future episodes, I guess. Dean's just like freaking everybody out walking down the plane. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? Sam?
Anything?
Why did you have to do it so roughly like that? Scaring our poor Dean. It's kind of a bit like yellow fever a little bit in places, isn't it? With Dean being scared. But this is genuine fear. Yeah.
Christo.
Here we go. Demon doesn't know Sam and Dean yet, do they?
Alright, this is gonna sound nuts, but we just don't have time for the whole the truth is out there speech right now.
All right, look, we know you were on flight 2485.
Come in.
On 2485, there was this man. He had these eyes.
Yes, that's exactly. Don't have time to explain. We just need to talk to him, okay?
Well, how am I supposed to go into the cockpit and get the
Whatever it
co-pilot?
takes. Do whatever it takes.
Do you know that I could lose my job?
Okay, well, you can lose a lot more than that if you don't help us out.
Yeah. Job or life. Yeah, I mean, surely the demon will be suspicious already. Because they said Christo and he reacted, so, you know. Here comes the holy water, here comes the Bible, aka the journal.
Now, what's the problem?
Punch the demon. the effects on this are just so different and not as good as they are in future seasons. Yep. All the passengers oblivious, aren't they? So he did recognise Sam. Still know the boy king Sam Winchester. Oh, there goes the demon. Why did they put tape on his mouth before? Doesn't make any sense. Oh, bye bye. Oh, I love this bit with Dean just screaming his head off. Oh no. The journal. Come on, Sammy, get used to his long arms. Oh, Dean. Oh. Come on, Sam, rescue the day. Save everybody's life. Yep, see, he needs it fresh. You look after his ass for a change, right? He's been looking after you since Jess died. Poor Dean. There we go. Bye bye, demon. Well done, Sam, for exercising your first demon. Look at his hair. Oh, poor Sam. I mean, poor Dean. Dean's hair this episode has never been so messy. I mean, look at that. It's very fluffy. That's what it is. That's the word. It's fluffy.
I don't even remember getting on the plane.
That's weird because you saw the demon beforehand and as everyone was boarding, so I don't know. Strange.
You okay?
It knew about Jessica.
Yes, it did.
These things, they read minds. They lie.
That's not what it was, but I don't know if Dean's convinced himself either, so.
I meant to ask you, how did you get my cell phone number anyway? I've only had it for like 6 months.
Your dad gave it to me. Called his number, his voice message said to give you a call.
So, if John was taken by demons, he's now escaped and changed his voicemail. So that could be an indication of how long it actually took before John was escaped with the demons, if my theory stands. So up until just before episode 4. Wonder how long they have to wait for this shot. Wonder how many planes come over to get that lovely shot.
Sense, man. I've called Dad's number like 50 times.
This is John Winchester. I can't be reached. If this is an emergency, call my son Dean.
It's a bit about his office on. That little thing there was Sam realising that, so Dad's fine, he's just not speaking to us. Kind of a little bit anger towards John there, and a bit of confusion of why he's not picking up the phone to them, which is kind of understandable. End the show. More diving shots. Well, there we have it. Episode 4, season 1 down. I definitely enjoyed that episode a lot more than Dead in the Water. It's I think it's one of those episodes that I always think about whenever you say season 1, because it's the first one that had a demon. It's where we learn about Dean's fear of flying, and also it's where we learn about how John actually changed his voicemail, and that, you know, and that kind of proves that he's still alive. So yeah, it's kind of a big episode in that respect. I mean, yes, it is a Monster of the Week episode, but we start to learn a bit more about the demon mythology throughout the whole season, or the whole series, as people know who've seen the whole show. Demons are used a lot more, so yeah, it's definitely a good episode to watch, just as a kind of a nice, it's kind of like one to choose if you're just trying to find a supernatural episode to watch. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. It also brings up the suits that they wear. So I love the fact that Dean hated wearing the suit first, and then in later seasons he's just like, you barely see them out of a suit in some seasons. It's like that's all they wear to cases. So, you know, it's kind of what they need if they want to be fake FBI agents. So to make it a bit more real. So I think maybe the first 3 episodes where they kept getting called out about who they were, maybe that's kind of forced them to actually dress the part now. So, because they did actually get away with it at first until unfortunate incident of the second Homeland Security people. I say second, the Homeland Security people realising that someone's impersonating Homeland Security people. They got away with getting into that building to look at the plane wreck. So yeah. So yeah, it's another episode where we learn a bit more about Dean. Also a little bit more about Sam as well, and how it was kind of Sam's turn to take care of Dean this episode, because it's all been about Dean taking care of Sam after Jess died. So now we get to see the roles reversed a little bit. So I think that's quite important to show, because the brothers do take care of each other. It's not just one way. So I love the fact that he was, even though it was kind of funny to him at first that Dean had a fear of flying, but he did help Dean through that on the plane to make sure that he actually, you know, could keep a level head and complete the job. So what do I give Phantom Traveller? So I think it will probably be low 80s. I think it's going to be, it's a good episode, but I know there's a lot better out there, so I think I'm going to give it an 82. It's good, but not too high. There's definitely ones that are better. It's kind of a average, it's a decent average episode. It's kind of like just above average, I'd say. I think at the end of the season I'll probably go back through all of my scores and then just double check to see if I've got everything right in the right position, because sometimes I think of a score and then I'm like, actually I've just given it that higher score than that episode, but I actually prefer that episode, so I might go through them again at the end of the season to see if I've given them the right rating or not. Next episode is going to be Bloody Mary, another decent Monster of the Week episode, so I'm looking forward to that. And if you want to join me, please press the subscribe button and the notifications. I am going to Disneyland in 2 days' time, so the next episode is probably going to be a bit delayed. I don't know if I'm going to get this episode before I go. We'll see how well I do, because I've also got this cold as well, so a bit of a pain. And I will see you next time.